Welcome back to the channel. For those who are new, my name is Aga. I've been investing in property, predominantly in Australia. This is my first investment in Bali. Welcome, and I'm going to take you on a tour. What 50% means the roof is off. So, but as you'll see, it still looks like a construction site, but that's what we expected. So today we're going to talk about the 3 things you need to know before you start constructing a villa in Bali. Okay, I'm going to start here. I think gives a better view. So behind me, directly behind me, is actually where the sitting area or the lounge area. It opens up to the pool. It's bifolding doors all the way. You've got the pool, you've got the sunken area, I'll show you shortly. And in the middle is where the dining table will go. And I'm currently standing in the kitchen area. I'm gonna flip around for you to have a look. Actually, I might do it now. So here's the kitchen area. Still needs a bit of work, but you can see the structure in there. And hopefully over here, you can see the stairs up to the bedroom. So there's 2 bedrooms, master bedroom and a guest bedroom. Both have their own bathrooms, which is fantastic. And I can't get up there, but one of the adjustments we made to the property was basically a new terrace. So there's a hole. I can't get up there, but that's one of the exciting things. We are on a hill. So I am hoping from the terrace we can get glimpses of the beach, but we will always get sunsets from there. And that is one of the reasons we wanted to do it. It was, you want to have sundowners, right? So especially in Bali. So that's what we did. It's hard to imagine. The developer told me 2 months before the internal walls go up and the wiring, because I wanted to talk to them about making sure that we had the internet set up and potentially some built-in speakers in each of the rooms as well. And he tells me 2 months, but if you have a look at the site, I find that hard to believe, but that's the way they work, right? So, all right, I was going to do this segment on site yesterday in Bali, but it was quite wet and dirty, and I kind of felt like I was getting in the way of the builders. So I'm going to do it here. So today we're going to talk about the 3 things that you need to know if you want to build in Bali. So for me, it was site visits, aligning with your builders, and checking and confirming all the changes that you make with your developer. So let's start with the first one, on-site visits. So for the last 3 or 4 months since we made our deposit and we decided to build, I've been going to on-site to visit for a couple of reasons. One, our contract payments are aligned with deliverables. So what they construed should be completed for us to make that payment. So the best way to actually do that is get on site and make sure that it's there. They do send videos every week, which is quite valuable, but sometimes week to week, you can't actually see any changes. So being on site is important. Now, from yesterday, the best thing I think about some of the site visits is you can actually talk to the developer about some of the changes. Now, in our development, there's about 6 villas being built and they're all at various stages. So you can go into an almost completed one that's almost next step for yours, and talk about some of the fittings that they've put in there. And that has been quite valuable for me. So yesterday, we have a skywalk between the master bedroom and the guest bedroom. It's about 3 meters high. You get to look into the dining area and the kitchen. It's quite an amazing view. But there was discussion before we even started ours that skyway would be concrete. Now, my preference was glass. The builder had said concrete would be safer, so I went with that recommendation. However, yesterday, having a look at the one that was completed, they had a wooden see-through finish. So it's not a full wooden walkway. I don't know how to describe it. You can see through that. And the builder had suggested it was much better looking than the full concrete one, which our next door neighbors had. So of course, we've now decided to do the wooden finish for the skyway. We would not have known that until after they'd laid the concrete. And if we hadn't seen it, we probably would have been quite disappointed with that finish. So that was important for me. And the other thing we got to talk about was, obviously, we are very early, but our internet points. because it's a concrete structure, the concern is being able to get Wi-Fi into the upper bedrooms or the terrace. And so just to be able to have that conversation about where those points will terminate in each of the bedrooms and downstairs was quite important to me, because if you're going to use it for somewhere to work remotely, you need to have good internet connection. And it was very important that they understood what we wanted to do. So being on site, visiting on a regular basis is very important if you want to keep your project on track. Next, building alignment. Making sure you and your builders understand what you are talking about. Now, the one thing I would say is, even though they speak very good English, everything can be lost in translation. And I'll give you an example. We decided to knock down the wardrobes within the master bedroom to create a bigger space to put a bathtub and an extra sink. So a double sink and a bathtub. We had to sacrifice some space to be able to do that. So what I asked was, there was a step up section closer to the window. Hopefully I'll try to get a picture up for you, and flatten that out. So instead of having the step up, flatten it out. The reason I wanted to do that was to create our own built-in robes, maybe on the opposite wall of the bed. So I thought everything was understood. The bath was there, sunlight, everything else. And they filmed the picture for me. I could not check it yesterday, unfortunately, because of the scaffolding. And guess what? They've laid the concrete as a step up, even though I asked not to do it. Now, look, it's not a major problem, but it will change how we basically build those wardrobes in that bedroom, and just an extra consideration. So the thing I would say about the building alignment, any of those changes that you make, you need to basically make sure that you reiterate that every single time. Don't say it once and then leave it, and then they build it, and then all of a sudden you go, holy shit, well, we didn't actually agree with that. So the building alignment is essential. You'll have a contract that will actually stipulate the minimum and the standards that it will be done. So if you want any modifications, you need to make sure that, generally in any other place, you would make the modification and you'd add it to the contract. In Bali, it is all verbal or on WhatsApp. So make sure your builders and yourself are aligned with any of those changes. Which kind of leads me to the third and final important part of 3 things you need to know before you build in Bali is check everything over and over again. Now, I don't know how many times I've talked about the Skyway and how we were going to build it, but we've now had 3 separate versions. The original version was glass, then it was concrete, now we're wood, right? Now, I have had separate conversations with the builder and the real estate agent about that. Of course, it's not documented, but we've now agreed it's now going to be wood. Now, you can take your chances. We are fortunate that we do visit and we've built a relationship with them, and now we're going to get the best of what we wanted. But it is important that you keep checking and reiterating, unless you are working off a document that you can point to and say, that's what I want. And in fact, I would actually highlight that. I think I'm going to do that moving forward, to just document it, to basically say there's a few things we want to do. So for example, we get a ceiling fan in the lounge room, but we wanted that same ceiling fan to be in the master bedroom and the guest bedroom. You know, rather than talk about and take a photo as they had asked, I'm going to put it in a spreadsheet to make sure they do that. So I would highly recommend that you do that as well. And I think it will just save you all the stress and hassles of going on site and then them doing something and then you being shocked. So I'd hate for that to happen. So that's it for me today. I hope you've learned the 3 important things that you need to know before you build in Bali. And that is your on-site visits, alignment with your builder, and just check every single change that you want to make on a regular basis. And as I've suggested, get a spreadsheet, document it, and share it with them, and say, and use that as your working document for that. So thank you once again for joining me this week. For those who want more information, I have created an ebook called Owning Bali. Please make a comment, say yes please in the comment, and I'll send it out to you. There is a link to that ebook, and I'd love to share that for you. So thanks for being with me again this week, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you then.